Okay, students, listen. I will teach you next concept today. Okay, before taking up the alpha disintegration, alpha range and other things, first I will teach you little bit regarding radioactivity series or radioactive series. Radioactive series. Which are the radioactive series which are existing? There are 4 radioactive series are present. Out of the 4 radioactive series, 3 radioactive series are naturally occurring series, and the 4th one is artificially made series, means man-made series. Which are the series here? The first series is called by the name uranium series. Uranium series. It starts with uranium, ends with Pb-206-82. I will write here, it starts with uranium-238-92. It will undergo a series of alpha emissions, beta emissions, is go on, takes place. At the end, we are going to get here Pb-206-82. Mass number 206, atomic number 82. So don't forget, this is going to be get producing to last end product as a stable product here. It is going to be get producing 8 alpha emissions and 6 beta emissions. This uranium-238-92 after 8 alpha emissions and 6 beta emissions, then it is converted in the form of a stable nucleus of Pb-206-82, mass number 206, atomic number 82. This is uranium series, a series that continues. Uranium-238-92 produces an alpha particle converting in the form of thorium-234-90. Then again it is a beta emission that takes place here. It is a beta emitter. It is converting in the form of ionium, proactinium, then ionium, like that it is go on happening. Number 2, second series, that is thorium series. Thorium series. This thorium series starts with thorium 232-90. It starts with thorium 232-90 and ends with last product and ends with thorium D, or it is Pb-206-82. Pb-206-82 or thorium D. It is converting in the form of thorium D. This is a second series, starts with thorium and ends with Pb-206-82. That is, there is again, it is producing alpha emission, beta emissions like that, and ultimately last one is Pb-206-82. Number 3, third series is called by the name actinium series. Actinium series. In the case of actinium series, it starts with actinouranium. It starts with actinouranium. Otherwise, uranium-235-92. This is actinouranium. This is actinouranium or uranium-235-92. End product. This starts with this, and the end product is said to be Pb-207-82. An isotope of lead. An isotope of lead. Isotope means there is a change in the mass number but atomic number remains same. There is a change in the neutron number but proton number remains same. That is an isotope. An isotope of lead, it is going to get produced. So this is the end product. This is the starting one. It starts with uranium-235-92, actinouranium, ends with Pb-207-82. Number 4, fourth one. This is man-made one. The fourth one is the man-made one, Neptunium series. Neptunium series. Neptunium series, it starts with Neptunium 237, 93, starts with this Neptunium 237, 93. End product, last one, is said to be bismuth 209, 83. Mass number 209, atomic number 83, bismuth, that is the end product. So these are the 4 radioactive series which are existing. Out of the 4, the first 3 are naturally occurring one, and the 4th one is said to be a man-made one or lab-made one, of course. It starts with Neptunium 237, 93 and end with an end product bismuth 209, 83. Okay, so just you go through this, finish it off. Okay. Follow this. Next concept. Don't forget about the next concept, because before taking up the next one, okay, I'm supposed to explain what is this alpha, beta and gamma and other things. Under lower classes already you have studied about this, under the lower classes. Okay, if you are choosing a lead block here, this is a lead block, a small opening that we have made it as in the case of lead block. This is lead. Okay, here we are keeping a radioactive material, either it is radium, uranium, thorium, plutonium, like that material we are keeping here. It is a radioactive material. If you are keeping electrodes here, maybe it is positively charged electrode, a plate connected to the positive end here, a plate which is connected to the negative end here. Some of the rays which are bent towards the positive plate, some other rays which are bent towards the negative plate like this, some other rays which are not at all bending like this. Now we can call it by the name, the positively charged plate towards that one, whichever the rays are bending, they are called by the name the beta rays. To the negatively charged plate, whichever it is going to get bent, is called by the name the alpha rays, which do not bend either to the positive or negative, that is called by the name the gamma rays. This is according to your lower class concept, very much lower class. Okay, the question is, why we have kept the lead block? Lead block, it is avoiding the alpha rays or beta rays to come out in all the other directions. For that purpose, we have kept inside the lead box here, or lead, whatever the cavity it has been drilled here, inside that one we have kept a radioactive source. Therefore, radioactivity, whatever the alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays, radiations, they are all coming out in only one direction here. Other direction, it is going to get prohibited. For that purpose, we have kept a lead block. This is, we have kept it. Now, based on this, I suppose to explain 2 concepts, then I will take up. First concept, you are aware of an atom. Is it right? You are aware of an atom here. I will consider helium atom. Helium atom, it is present like this. It is containing 2 protons. It is containing 2 neutrons in the case of its nucleus. This is a nucleus. Outside the nucleus, electrons are revolving around the nucleus like this. How many electrons are revolving? 2 electrons are revolving here. This is one electron, this is another electron. So inside the nucleus there are 2 protons and 2 neutrons. This is nucleus. Outside the nucleus 2 electrons are revolving. That is helium atom. Helium nucleus means what? Helium nucleus means what? Helium nucleus means I will remove these 2 electrons. These 2 electrons were removed. If you are removing these 2 electrons, only the nucleus, if it is present here, that is said to be taken as a helium nucleus. This is helium nucleus without electron. the charge of this one is equal to 0. The net charge of this atom is equal to 0. Whereas the charge of helium nucleus is equal to plus 2. E I can write, where E is the electron charge. Here number of electrons is equal to number of protons. Proton number, electron number, it is equal to each other. Therefore, it is electrically neutral because it is an atom. Nucleus, it lost the electron. It is containing only the protons and neutrons. Neutrons do not carry the charge. Protons carrying the charge. Proton carry the charge. Electron charge is negative, proton charge is positive. If you want me to write, I will write here. Electron charge is equal to minus 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Proton charge is equal to plus 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. I am not writing the mass. It is only a charge. This is only the charge. Charge of an electron is negative. Charge of a proton is positive. Charge of neutron is 0. Neutron do not carry any amount of charge. Chargeless particle, which is that neutron is a chargeless particle. Follow this. Now return back to the concept here. Return back to the concept. What do you mean by alpha ray or alpha particle? They are one and the same. Alpha particle or alpha ray. Alpha particle or alpha ray means it is helium-42 nucleus which is having a charge plus 2 or plus 2e, because it is lost 2 electrons. If it is gaining 2 electrons, it is converting like this. It is chargeless one, but it is having a charge. Now it is having plus 2. That is alpha particle. Now onwards, if I am using the word alpha ray or alpha particle, means you are looking, oh, it is helium nucleus. It is not containing 2 electrons outside. There is a deficiency of 2 electrons. Hence the charge is equal to plus 2e. Beta particle means beta ray, or I can say beta particle. Beta particle means it is a fast moving electron. This is the fast moving electron represented by E0 minus 1. The charge of this one is equal to minus E. Minus E. So now onwards, if I am saying a beta ray is coming out, a beta particle is coming out, means it is nothing but an electron which is moving with a faster rate. An electron, if it is moving with very fast rate, I can call it by the name a beta particle, whose configuration is E0 minus 1. The charge of this one is equal to minus E. Now onwards, if I am saying gamma ray means it is an electromagnetic wave, electromagnetic radiation of shorter wavelength. An electromagnetic wave or radiation of shorter wavelength whose charge is equal to 0, which is not having any amount of charge, which is not possessing any amount of charge. It is a chargeless particle. It is an electromagnetic radiation of shorter wavelength whose charge is equal to 0. That is a gamma ray. I can write the gamma ray like this. 0 and 0, which is not have. It is a photon, nothing else. It is a light. Gamma ray light or gamma ray photon, gamma particle, which is not having the mass, which is not having the charge. Chargeless, massless, massless, chargeless. This is basic taken from your very much lower class. Okay, very much lower class that I have chosen here. Just you go through it once. Based on this, I suppose to teach you about range of alpha particles. That I have to cover it. Range of alpha particles, I suppose to cover it now. That is there in your syllabus, certainly. Okay? Understood about this? Is it clear? Right? Now, the range of alpha particles. I suppose to start with range of alpha particles. Range of alpha particles. What do you mean by this range of alpha particles? Range means what? Range means it is a distance. Range means it is a distance passes through by the alpha particles. It's called by the name the range. At what distance the alpha particles is existing as alpha particles before it is collapsing. I can call it by the name alpha particle range. Okay, don't forget, alpha particles means, I told you already, alpha particles means it is a helium nucleus. Alpha particles means it is a helium nucleus which carries positive charge. Right, understood? Therefore, it is capable of ionizing the gas. Which one? Alpha particles are capable of ionizing the gas. These are capable of ionizing the gas. Ionizing the gas. What do you mean by ionization? Losing the electrons or gaining the electrons by the gas molecules, I can call it by the name ionization. If the gas molecules are, if they are present, if the gas molecules are losing the electron, it is positively charged ion. If it is gains the electrons, it is negatively charged ion. Nothing else. Here, alpha particles, it can producing the gas as an ionizing one. It can capable of producing ionization in the case of gas through which it is passing. Which one? Alpha particles. So the meaning, for example, let us consider this is a gas is said to be existing here inside. There is some particular gas is present in a particular density, particular pressure. You are aware of pressure means what? Pressure means the number of molecules are more, pressure is more. Number of molecules are less, pressure is less. Density is more, density of molecules are more, pressure is more. Density of molecules are less, pressure is also less. So here there are so many number of gas molecules are present. Like this, these are all gas molecules. Right? I will consider an alpha particle here. This alpha particle, it starts to move like this. It starts to move like this. And when the alpha particle, if it is moving like this, if the alpha particle, if it is moving like this, okay, it may collide with the molecules. Molecules of what? Gas. Whenever an alpha particle, it goes through the medium, where in the medium we have put some amount of a known gas at a known pressure. Now the alpha particle is having a tendency to collide on these molecules. When the alpha particle are colliding on these molecules here, any one molecule, no problem. If it is colliding, then alpha particle losing its entity, losing its identity, then it is converting back in the form of helium nucleus to helium atom. I told you already, alpha particle meaning is said to be helium nucleus, which is having shortage of 2 electrons. Once it is hitting on a molecule of the gas, from the gas it is removing 2 electrons, it is removing 2 electrons and absorbing. Once it is absorbing 2 electrons here, it is converting in the form of helium atom. Now this is going to lose the 2 electrons. Alpha particles gains the 2 electron. Once it is gaining the 2 electrons here, it is converting in the form of helium atom, whereas the gas molecule loses 2 electrons. This gas molecule is going to get ionized. That is the meaning. That is the meaning. Follow this concept? No. As the alpha particle, if it is moving like this, how long distance it has been traveled. For example, it has traveled this amount of distance. Then afterwards, it is going to be get colliding, converting in the form of helium atom. Then I can say this distance is called by the name range. This distance is called by the name range of the alpha particle. But condition is there. The distance covered by the alpha particle inside a gas, so that the alpha particle up to that distance is acting as an alpha particle, but once it reaches to that particular distance, alpha particle colliding with a gas molecule and converting in the form of a helium atom. Therefore, the distance through which alpha particle is acting as an alpha particle before it is colliding and converting in the form of helium atom, the distance is called by the name range of alpha particles. I told you already, there is some condition. What are the conditions? What are the conditions here? The condition is this gas, whatever we have put inside this chamber here now, this gas must be having a pressure of 0.76 meter of mercury. This pressure, it must be there. The pressure of this gas is equal to this much. Okay, so now this gas inside this chamber, the gas must be having a pressure of 0.76 meter of mercury. Then the distance, whatever we are measuring the distance here now, the distance we have to measure in terms of centimeter only. We have to measure in terms of centimeter, and the temperature must be maintained, that is equal to 15 degrees centigrade. Follow the condition here. The gas must be maintained at a temperature of 15 degrees centigrade. The gas must be maintained at a pressure of 0.76 meter of mercury. Then in that situation, alpha particle, at what distance it has been traveled in terms of centimeter before it is converting in the form of a helium atom, the distance in terms of centimeter at this particular pressure, at this particular temperature is called by the name range of alpha particles. Very important question for 2 marks. Define range of alpha particles. Define range of alpha particles. Then the range depending upon what factors? Range of alpha particles depends on which factors? Depending upon which factors? On what factors the range is depending upon? One is, it is depending upon the density or pressure I can consider. Second one, it is depending upon the initial velocity. So first point. The range of alpha particles depending upon the initial velocity, or I can say initial energy of the alpha particle. Secondly, it is depending upon the ionization potential of the gas. The gas ionizing potential, depending upon that. If it is an inert gas, ionization not so easy to produce. If it is an inert gas, you know about, under chemistry you have studied about the inert gas configurations. The outermost shell is packed up, closely spaced, it has been closed down. Okay, valence electrons are not available. The removal of electron is also not so easy. So anyhow, the range is depending upon, first point, the initial energy of the alpha particle. The initial energy of the alpha particle. Secondly, it is depending upon the ionization potential of the gas. The ionization potential of the gas. Third idea, number 3, the chances of collision. The chances of collision. The collision chance is less, range is more. The collision chances are more here, the range is less. So therefore, it is depending upon the pressure. As the pressure is more, number of molecules are more. Pressure is more, number of molecules are more. As the number of molecules are more here, then the probability of collision is said to be the more here. Range is going to be get decreased. As the number of molecules are less here, the probability of collision is less here. It can travel to a long distance before it is converting in the form of helium atom. Therefore, I can say the range depending upon the three factors. Number one, initial energy of the alpha particle. Number two, the ionization potential of the gas molecules. Number three, the pressure, whatever we have maintained the gas. Depending upon that, the number of collisions, the chances of collision that takes place. The chances of collision between the gas and the alpha particle that takes place. Okay, this is the one concept. Yes, so based on that one, we have to take up the next concept, an experimental measurement of the range of alpha particles. Experimental measurement of range of alpha particles that we are supposed to learn. Okay, so what is that?